Then when you've got Angel screaming, Angel does it again. And
that was something, right?
That was something.
I'm sorry, you canceled the support for the game a month ago.
Why would they even host a trade?
I don't know.
And I sit down and he picks up one donut and eats it. So you want to like QA games?
When the rubber meets the road, they're gonna be like, oh my god, I don't like seeing Mario get his skull smashed.
Oh, I would love
It
to
doesn't
see that.
work.
I would love to
Yeah,
see
like
that.
again, like I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BattlefieldOne Podcast, the best Battlefield podcast on the planet, the #1 destination for everything, well, you guessed it, Battlefield. My name is Tom, also known as TheLanky Soldier, or as you can see on the camera, the Fat Soldier. Okay, I'm not that fat, but still, I'm older, that's the difference. So, welcome to the show, and if you're watching the video portion of this podcast, you're probably thinking, what the hell is going on? He's on the sofa, he's doing whatever, looks casual and lazy, while my cat is doing something in the background and I can hear his claws clawing on some surface. Yeah, so long story short, loads of stuff happening in the background. Like if you listen to the other previous episodes, you know I'm gonna be on holiday soon. So this is a quick mock-up of the episode, and as you can tell by myself, because Ray is working, everyone else are working, and I'm here by myself. So I'm like, okay, I have no time to set up the proper thing and everything. I'm just gonna sit on the sofa, grab my microphone, grab the camera, just literally just leave it there to record. Green screen behind me, and that's it. Well, let's just talk about Battlefield because loads of things happened. Like the reveal is about to happen, like in 24 hours from now. Yeah, in 24 hours, and we'll talk about it. We'll see what all the news that's happened and everything. I'll talk about the website a little bit and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's a very casual episode because I literally had no time to do anything. I have some notes on my iPad, and I'm just gonna talk about stuff, and I hope you're gonna enjoy it. So other than that, thank you guys for listening. Please enjoy the conversation that I will have with you. Please check out BattlefieldOne.net for more information about us, listen to old episodes, or just read about the Battlefield news that, you know, you want to catch up with what's happening in the Battlefield universe. Just go to BattlefieldOne.net and just read everything about us, about the franchise and everything. So thank you guys for listening and enjoy what I have to say. So, first and foremost, I want to talk about the last 2 episodes we did on BattlefieldOne Podcast. So, we got a lot of new listeners. Our audience is growing, and people think that we're like that on a regular basis. And if you're a new listener and listen to this podcast thinking what the hell he's talking about, let me just give you a quick roundup of what happened. So basically, in the last 2 episodes, we were pretty negative about the franchise, about EA, about everything, all that kind of stuff, because we're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Idealistic fans, I guess, because we're Battlefield veterans. We've been playing Battlefield games for so long. We kind of know in and outs, and we have people like, you know, we know friends and everything that talk to us and everything that work in the industry, work at EA, work at, you know, Battlefield Studios, whatever the case may be. So you talk and everything. You kind of learn everything as you go. You know, a nice privilege of hosting a podcast, you know, with some sort of audience, and you get a chance to talk to people. And yeah, we've been negative about the whole franchise, about whole, you know, company and everything. I'm not individuals, but we're talking about the culture of the company. You know, how the company decides to make decisions about, you know, about their game and all that kind of stuff. And the gaming industry these days is not the most healthiest it ever been. Actually, just what I wished a happy birthday to someone that works in the industry, and he's like the 5th person I know that got fired, you know, from a studio, from his job, because financial reasons, you know, whatever the case may be, right? I can't remember what word was used, but anyways, it's just bullshit. It's the whole gaming industry is bullshit. So of course we were a bit negative about everything, and of course, everything we know, me and Ray, we've been talking about on the last 2 episodes, it's not easy. It's not easy to be positive about the franchise. It's not easy to be able, you know, be excited and everything. Don't get me wrong. We'll talk about the upcoming reveal anytime, in a moment now. But I just want to say that, yeah, we're not negative all the time. At the end of the day, we're still human beings with emotions and everything, and we just really care about this franchise and all that kind of stuff. So we just, we want this franchise to be good. I mean, I just had a hit tweet, how the kids say these days. I had a hit tweet, on my Twitter or X, whatever. I refuse to call it X. I had a hit tweet. I'm saying, like, listen, I've been negative all this time, but damn, I hope this new Battlefield game will bring that joy back into me. No, like, doesn't matter what kind of game is it. I just hope it's a stable launch. It's not too bad, and we all can play together and have fun. That's all I care about. Another day, that's what I care about. Because if the game is good, we're doing good. Because people will care about the franchise and everything. We'll get a bigger audience, all that kind of stuff. Like, even though we're getting an audience now, but hey, I'm allowed to get a bigger audience. Of course not. It's nothing wrong with that. I mean, this podcast was created for a reason. We want to talk about Battlefield, and we want people to listen what we think about Battlefield, all that kind of stuff. So, and that's why we made BattlefieldOne.net website in the first place, because, like, hey, so people can, understand what's going on in the industry, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for listening, for all the new listeners that are joining in and everything. Thank you. We're not negative all the time, 24/7. We're not, but it just had to be said. Those 2 episodes we had, it just had to be said because certain things need to be said out loud, and just go, have a reality check with the franchise. Yeah, as soon as I saw the teaser trailer yesterday for the reveal and everything, like, oh, reveal happening in 48 hours, right? I'm like, motherfuckers. I knew what to expect. I know in what kind of state the game is. I know what kind of shit show is gonna be. But I'm like, fuck, they still get me. I'm a fan. I'm actually a fan. I care about this fucking franchise. Of course, I'll be negative when I have to be, but I'll be positive when I need to be. Like, of course, I'll give props to whatever good thing they'll do. Of course, but yeah. So thank you guys, like, for joining in and everything. Listen to our previous podcast. We have some amazing podcasts and episodes and everything, for you to listen. So go check out. But yeah, but regarding for this episode I'm recording right now, I'll be more neutral, more positive, because I just want to put my thoughts out there, I guess, just casually. As you can tell, I'm on the sofa, literally on the sofa, camera pointing at me. Just very casual. Just let's talk about Battlefield casually, and that's kinda it. But yeah, so before we continue with just like the reveal or the open beta news, all that kind of stuff, let's just go back for a little bit. So what's the plan? Because people that haven't listened to the previous episodes, I'm gonna be on holiday soon, and I won't be able to do any public episodes in the next 2-3 weeks. So the plan is to grab my equipment, take it to that country, because I'm visiting in-laws and everything. Thankfully, they have a office PC, like a office computer, whatever. It's okay for audio editing and recording and everything, so that's fine. Audio is not that hard thing to work with in terms of file size and just editing, all that kind of stuff. So it's fine. So what the plan is, there will be no public episodes in the next 2-3 weeks. So when the so-called open beta will be happening, or the reveal, all that kind of stuff, we'll not be talking about for 2-3 weeks, because again, I'm not available. I won't be able to edit those episodes for the public. But as I'm gonna be grabbing all my equipment and everything for audio stuff, me and Ray will be recording a Patreon episode for the reveal, open beta, and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see how it goes. So our first impressions of everything Battlefield 6 will be on the Patreon first. So if you really want to hear that, just subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier, and you do all the links in the description, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, just listen what we had to say. And after I'm back for holiday, after everything's done and dusted, the beta is over, the reveal is done. Now we just wait for whatever next piece of news that will drop. And we'll have a bit of time to think about everything we said, everything we seen, and all the experienced. So we can talk about it a more clear, in a somewhat clear mind. And of course, Patreon's gonna be unfiltered as fuck because it always is. Live gaming gathering episodes are always unfiltered. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of swearing, a lot of like it's just unfiltered, literally unfiltered. So that's gonna be like there's no structure, no nothing. It's just us talking in front of the microphone about something we care about. And at that point, we'll care about the Battlefield game, about the Battlefield 6. So on Patreon, we're gonna be talking about our first impressions of the Battlefield reveal and the rumored open beta. Now, of course, now some of you are probably thinking, okay, wait, how are you gonna play the beta if you're not around, you know? Ray will be able to play the beta because it's not going anyway. He's still at home and all that kind of stuff, so he has his PC. So, my niece and her boyfriend apparently have a PlayStation 5. Is this the same PlayStation 5 I used to play Battlefield 4 a couple of months ago when I was on my holiday, another holiday? And I did that episode, I think, I can't remember what was it, episode 40, maybe 41, I can't remember which episode was it. It was basically me and Ray talking about how I played Battlefield 4 again, and how I had that, you know, like a lot of fun, like just sitting on the sofa, Mrs. on next to me on her phone, her parents are doing something in the background, and I'm just here on the sofa drinking a nice drink, having a snack, and playing Battlefield 4 on a console, you know, on the PS5. I'm like, wow, I just remembered my childhood, basically. And that was awesome, you know. So I hope the next Battlefield game is like that, so I can just sit down and have a really good time and just have a pleasant experience, you know. Not bring childhood back, that's not coming back ever again, unless I'm a time traveler. But it's just like, just experience that again, that feeling of playing a Battlefield game, you know. And we did not have that for the last, what, 5-10 years? I did not have that with Battlefield 5. I did not have that with 2042. Definitely did not have that with Battlefield 1, maybe at the start. But yeah, Battlefield 4 was maybe the last piece of Battlefield that just brought, like, gave me that feeling of just like, you know, bringing everyone together and playing some Battlefield and just having fun. Regardless how competitive or casual it is. It doesn't matter. So anyway, I was going off tangent here. If the beta, rumored beta will drop when I'm going to be on holiday, there is a PS5 there. So I should be able to play the open beta if it happens. It will take ages for me to download, so I do hope there's a preload for the beta. I hope there's a preload for the beta, because if there's no preload for the beta, goddamn, it's going to take me like 5 hours to download the beta, because the internet is so fucking shit over there. Listen, I did the research and everything. The internet infrastructure over there is absolute dog shit, dog water, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's garbage, absolute piece of garbage. That being said, as long as I have a cable, I can connect it to the PS5. Maybe I can download the beta in 5 hours. I'll leave it during the night or whatever the case may be, because everyone else is going to be using the PS5. And I should be able to play the beta, assuming it drops on those dates when I'm on holiday. If it drops later, fantastic. Can I please be home? Don't drop open betas while I'm on holiday, please. That would be great. Thanks, DICE EA and Battlefield Studios, please. So please don't drop the open beta while, you know, I'm on holiday. That would be great. Thank you, EA. Please don't do that. But yeah, so that's the plan. So we'll do the Patreon episode, our first impressions of the reveal and everything. We'll see how the reveal goes tomorrow, what they're gonna say, what they're gonna announce, and from there, me and Ray will plan for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, that's why there will be no public episodes, because I'm gonna be away. So, but I still want to do something, you know. I still want to do Patreon episodes and everything. So, but because that's all audio only. And yeah, so thank you guys for like subscribing to Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Thank you for supporting us, you know. Like the website itself, for example, we have to pay money to keep the website up, all that kind of stuff, you know, and every little bit helps, you know. Thank you guys for subscribing to Patreon, all that kind of stuff. So, and of course, we don't want your money just because. We want to give you back something. So that's why we make all the content. So yeah, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. That's going to be our first impressions of the reveal and maybe the beta. We'll see how it goes. Right, but so let's talk about some important stuff that you probably care more about. The reveal itself. So I am recording this on the 23rd of July. 24 hours and 30 minutes. That's how much left until they drop the reveal trailer for Battlefield 6. They showed a teaser trailer, including the artwork for the game. And here's my reaction to all of that. I'm not a fan of the artwork. The music and everything, that got to me. Let me talk about the positives first. So, like I said, I'm a fan. Battlefield trailers, Battlefield reveals, Battlefield news, all that kind of stuff like that, that keeps my blood pumping in a good way. That makes me excited, makes me feel something, makes me feel alive. Because I'm that type of fan. Like, I really enjoy this franchise. I will not be hosting Battlefield 1, a Battlefield 1 podcast. I will not be hosting this podcast or anything Battlefield related if I did not enjoy this franchise. The reveals get to me. This kind of stuff gets to me. Like, it gets me really hyped and everything and so on. But because I'm being a fan for so long, I seen everything. I seen the horrible launch of Battlefield 3, the disaster that was Battlefield 4 and then the renaissance of Battlefield 4 with Battlefield 4 CTE. Then Battlefield 1 was like a sidestep, I guess, brought new fans into the franchise. Then Battlefield 5, mechanically I think it's fantastic, but gameplay, I just did not care about that game whatsoever, and it was also not the best game when it came out either. And Battlefield 2042, yeah, I'm not gonna even talk about that. 2042 left such a sour taste in me. I'm like, I can't take you seriously anymore. That game, it was so damaging to the franchise. It was so damaging. You thought Battlefield 5 was bad? Oh, 2042 was just like, oof. But from all the leaks we've seen about the open beta, not open beta, from Battlefield Labs and everything, the game looks fine. I mean, the game looks interesting. Definitely much more fun than 2042. That seems like it. That looks more interesting and more engaging to play than Battlefield 2042 ever was. And at one point, me and Ray will do a retrospective of 2042, because we do want to do that, because we have loads of things to say about the game and all that kind of stuff. We just want to talk about it and just leave it behind. Forget that they exist. That's it. That's all it is. So, yeah, going back on the reveal. I'm not a fan of the artwork they released for the game. So I was talking to someone on Reddit. I know Reddit, such an amazing place. I was talking to someone on Reddit because he says like, "Oh, this is one of the best Battlefield artworks they ever did." And I'm just thinking to myself, really? I think it's one of the most generic, boring artworks we got in the Battlefield so far, like in Battlefield franchise. Like, okay, let me explain. So I like the idea. This is probably the first time that the Battlefield artwork, like the main box art or whatever you want to call it, shows the whole squad, just on the poster, right? It shows a 4-man squad on a hill, watching down the Brooklyn Bridge, being blown to smithereens, and there's like New York in the background, all that kind of stuff. I hope that's how... That's what it is, right? I don't really know the geography of American cities and states and so on. Anyway, so you see New York in the background, and you see the Brooklyn Bridge being blown to smithereens, and you see 4 soldiers, a whole squad just standing there observing what was going on, because posing for the post, all that kind of stuff. Like I like the idea. And someone mentioned that each soldier has like a emblem on them, saying which class they are, and I think that's a really cool idea. So I like the premise of the poster. The premise of the poster is very, very cool. I love that. It's like fantastic. It's a really good idea, and I'm kind of surprised that Battlefield did not do that yet in any of their posters or artwork. Fantastic. They did some, but they were not the main poster. There was some promotional poster, but it wasn't the main box art, if you know what I mean, right? They never did that. I'm glad they're doing that, and that's really fantastic. But when I'm looking at the poster, right, this poster that they revealed, very generic. I mean, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It kind of like tries to catch the casual audience, I guess. Just like, hey, you play Call of Duty, you play other games. Well, we have Battlefield, right? And Battlefield is something you would enjoy and you will feel really familiar with, and all that kind of stuff, right? That's great, but I remember people talk about, oh, removing the DNA of Battlefield or whatever the case may be, right? I'm looking at this poster, like, remove the name Battlefield 6 from it and replace it with Modern Warfare 3 Remastered, right? The original Modern Warfare 3. Because in Modern Warfare 3, original Modern Warfare 3, there was a mission where you had to like stop the Russian invasion, like of whatever, in New York. So you were fighting like with the submarines and the water, and you were fighting in the city, like so that kind of vibe, right? So if you put Modern Warfare 3 Remastered and you put this on this poster, you could not tell that's a Battlefield game. You were like, okay, it's a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Remaster. You will not even think about that it's Battlefield. And that's why I don't really like this poster, because you cannot tell that this is Battlefield. When you look at artwork for Battlefield, right, you can just tell instantly, that's Battlefield. That's Battlefield. It's like you instantly knew it's Battlefield. But with this, I have no idea. Like, I could not tell that this is Battlefield. That's why, like, the first time I saw it, I literally retweeted that and said, good post, but I did not expect that from them. And I was talking to Ray about it, and Ray told me that he thinks this was slapped on really quickly. Last minute post. We're like, well, shit, we have no time. We have to make something. I don't think that's the case. I think the case was that, as seen from the leaks, for example, old classic maps are coming back, but they're like in different locations, like Propaganda from Battlefield 4, Firestorm from Battlefield 3 and 4. Well, there was another one. Battlefield 3 map, Telemarket. And so all these maps, right, that are rumored to coming back to this new Battlefield game, this Battlefield 6, the rumor was that they're gonna be in different locations. They're the same maps, well, the same as in for remastered, remade for this game, but they're not set in their original locations. So Propaganda was in North Korea, Operation Firestorm was in Iran, and all these two maps are in different locations. So Propaganda apparently is set in Bulgaria, and Firestorm is set in the new location that is in Battlefield Laos, which is Turkmenistan. And that basically tells me, yeah, you're making the old maps, but you put them in different locations. Now, of course, there could be different reasons why they're putting in different locations, because, assets, all that kind of stuff, right? Like, you can't really, because if you make North Korea, for example, you kind of need to make new assets, all that kind of stuff. And the way game development works, you kind of want to reuse as many assets as you can. So maybe it's like putting in a different location is probably better, because from a development point of view, because it just makes sense. Like I said, making the maps, right? So maybe that's why. But no, I don't think that's the case. I think the game was designed, I think from the get-go, this game was supposed to be a reboot. Battlefield 6 was supposed to be a reboot. And I remember a year ago, or maybe a year and a half, something like that, there was a rumor saying like, that they're serving people to decide what kind of name they want. Do you want Battlefield or Battlefield 6? And this basically indicates me that this game was supposed to be a reboot, and it probably still is a reboot. Now I'm thinking about it, it's probably still a reboot, but for marketing reasons or whatever the reasons, like, which I think are stupid, someone said somewhere, like, Battlefield 6 is probably a bad name, marketing-wise, for whatever the case may be. Like, so, my dude came up with some stats, that intern came to Andrew Wilson or whoever, like, whoever decides this kind of decisions. They go to their big bosses and everything, like, yeah, I think this name would be bad because reasons X, Y, and Z, and so on. And Battlefield 6 makes sense for them internally. Cool. I think it's not a good name, but not the point. The point is, this game was supposed to be a reboot. And because this game is supposed to be a reboot, in this case, it will be a soft reboot, you can tell by the artwork. Because it doesn't follow the same art rules, or whatever you call it. Like, there's no rules, but like, when you look at a franchise, you kind of have an expectation what you expect from a specific franchise, and Battlefield has this expectation what you expect from its artwork and all that kind of stuff, and so on. When you look at Battlefield 6 artwork, you don't think it's Battlefield. But it is Battlefield. It's called Battlefield 6. But I think that's the thing. I think they were designing this game to be a reboot, and they're still designing this game to be a reboot. And you can tell by the artwork that this game was designed by to be a reboot, because it's so different from everything we had so far. And the reason you do a reboot is to start fresh. And this poster is basically, yeah, looks like you're starting fresh. And Battlefield 6 was a last-minute decision, the name. Should we call Battlefield 6? Well, the game is not it might be a colossal disaster regarding from development point of view, and we're not reaching our milestone goals and everything to release this game. And so I guess we can bite the bullet and call it Battlefield 6, because everyone always been calling Battlefield 6, so it kind of makes sense from a marketing point of view. And that's probably it. Also, I just realized, so my socks are green, and I have a green screen behind me, so if my legs are just gone, I guess it's funny. So yeah, I just realized I'm wearing literally green socks as I'm recording this bloody podcast. So yeah, I think this game was supposed to be a reboot, and artwork basically indicates this is supposed to be a reboot. But last minute decision, yeah, let's call it Battlefield 6. I'm not a fan of that. You should just call it Battlefield. Sure, just call it Battlefield. But probably somewhere some analytics person looked at it like, if we call it Battlefield 6, it will be less confusing, or whatever the case may be, and so on. And yeah, sure, but that kind of basically showed, like what you talked about in the last episode, this kind of shows me that you don't have the confidence in your product that you can sell by the name itself, and you're basically relying on your previous work, which is not even reliable at this point. The history of Battlefield and everything. The history of Battlefield is so muddled with all this shit. As like, I don't think you can rely on the all Battlefield history to carry this game. They don't. But at the same time, it seems like they don't have a choice, because they don't feel confident. They don't feel confident about this game internally, because it's such an unfinished mess. That's why I'm really surprised that there's a reveal happening now. And I'm kind of surprised about the open beta stuff happening in just a week, or whatever the case may be. Or, listen, the reveal might show tomorrow. Okay, the reveal happens tomorrow. The reveal happens in 24 hours from now. All we know, the reveal will say that the game is coming out March 2026. Sure, that would be ideal, I guess. Have more time to, make sure the game is working in somewhat good state. But all the signs from so the signs that are there that the game is now ready for March release. Yet I see EA is pushing this game to be released as early as 10th of October. That's the date that was leaked. 10th of October is when the next Battlefield game, Battlefield 6, is coming out. And when I saw that date, I'm like, we are so freaking cooked. We are so freaking cooked. We're so fucked if that's the case. My construction people are shouting, what the hell? This game is not ready for October release. And they decide 10th of October is probably the best time to do it. I'm sorry, no matter how bad Call of Duty is, or whatever the case may be, do you think you can compete against that? Especially with a broken, shitty game that will will be a very... Okay, so do you think... Okay, you know what? I'm jumping here a little bit forward, but let me just finish with the reveal. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the reveal and everything, of the poster, but hey, this was supposed to be a reboot, so fresh new start and so on. They decided to go with Battlefield 6 because reasons. Okay, whatever. So there was news about there's gonna be a reveal or something like that for like 3-day online event for 3 days, 3-day online event to showcase the game on, I think, starting like 29th of July or something like that. And there's rumors happening about, well, rumors. First and foremost, Battlefield Studios released on their Twitter post and all their social media accounts saying, in the open beta, you'll have a chance to play 2 playlists. The closed weapon playlist and the open weapon playlist. The main news is not the playlist itself. The main news is that they're casually just saying that open beta is happening. And if the game is not coming out until March, why do you talk about open beta now? So that means the open betas are around the corner. And of course, as I, going through all my channels and everything and seeing what people are saying and what's being leaked and what's being said, the earliest day for open beta to drop is the 4th of August. So in 2 weeks, we might be playing an open beta. So like I said, I might play on that PS5 while I'm visiting my in-laws, and I'm surprised by that. And if there's an open beta literally happening in 2 weeks, and the leaked data, the game is coming out in 10th of October, not confirmed, but it was leaked that the game might be coming out on 10th of October. Whew. Fuck.
Surprise! This was not time-stamped. We hope you're enjoying the show so far, but we need to stop for a second and tell you about some important stuff. And now that we have your attention, it's time to tell you all about our amazing Patreon that is helping us keep the show going. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier.
But yeah, episode 47, you paid for this.
I'm sorry.
I'm not, I don't care.
In my defense, I didn't know it was broken or it was going to break upon squeezing it gently. Battlefield 1 podcast was rebooted in March of 2023. We learned a lot of lessons from our previous shows that consisted of 41 episodes, and we've been building amazing foundations for the future with this current show. There's a reason why we're the best Battlefield-related podcast available on Spotify and anywhere else. We've also had the honor of being listened to by DICE, Ripple Effect, and other developers as well. Now, we want to share even more with you through our Patreon.
And I've never seen her. So I will be like crying and yelling. And I will not be the same person I am right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that kind of emotion. I know we're emotionally close and everything, but I don't think we're that emotionally close.
Yeah, that will be an experience of its own.
We want to thank everyone that has joined as a free member or subscribed to our Patreon in the last year. The support is greatly appreciated, always was, and always will be. It's amazing, and it only motivates us to continue with our Battlefield journey. By simply becoming a free member or even subscribing to any paid tier, you're not only supporting the show, but you're also getting a lot of content back in return.
Right, because Call of Duty gets so annoying sometimes, I actually got so desperate I installed League of Legends again.
Oh my god. The perks of any tier is you'll get ad-free early access to all of our future episodes. You can already listen to the previous episodes ads-free as well, simply by being a free member. There's no more waiting, no more interruptions, just pure unfiltered Battlefield content straight to your ear holes, from our mouth holes, and anywhere else. It's amazing, isn't it?
The only reason why CTE did as well as it did back in the day, guys, is because it wasn't locked down to secrecy. Those that couldn't participate were still able to see what was going on. That's the point that I'm getting at right now.
We're also giving you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into making the Battlefield 1 podcast or any other content we produce, from planning sessions to recording mistakes and everything in between. You'll get an insider's perspective on how we bring each episode to life pretty much from start to finish.
And the reason why I'm saying
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's all my fault.
It's all your fault, right? You ruined the whole show. We need to cancel it again.
Just gotta can it for another 8 months again. Just appear out of nowhere with
we need to cancel it again. Ray, what the fuck did you do?
And that's only Battlefield. We're also offering access to our exclusive Patreon podcast series, Live Gaming Gathering. This is a show where friends and special guests get together and talk about everything from the video game industry to movies and, whatever else is on our minds at that particular time. With more than 40 episodes already available, there's hours upon hours of content for you to listen to.
All right, I think we need to move on because we've been kind of on this subject for about the last 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
We got a couple of things in order.
Are you feeling better now? Let this
Yes,
team off.
Yeah, you got that
I
off
do
your chest.
I do feel better. Oh no, wait, one more thing. For example, Angela.
there.
No, we were in
I'm not
discussion.
going to mention any names.
Trust me, these are some of the most fun and amazing conversations we have ever had on the show. Because it's just us being us, relaxed and actually having fun. Almost like you're sitting alongside us with the conversation. Yeah.
So the reaction from the Fortnite community is like, okay, every time we see a Cybertruck in the server, it's our mission to drop everything we're doing and send that player back to the lobby.
We also believe in keeping our patrons informed, so we post monthly recaps to let you know what you probably missed during last month's episode, and we're making sure that you're not missing anything important. Just recently, we opened a brand new Discord server where people can talk to each other and get all of the latest updates about our content or the Lanky Soldier channel. Find the link in the description to this episode or at our Patreon. No subscription needed.
You are as a
You
player.
have been measured. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been measured.
Because we're confident that you'll love the content we're creating, we're offering a free trial that you can use at any time. We believe we're making good content that will make you stay, and we would not be offering free trials if we didn't think so.
I've seen a lot of people like literally get excited, like, you know what? This looks very familiar, clearly ripped from somewhere, but damn it, that looks good.
So, if you want to support the show and get all of these amazing extras, head on over to patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep delivering the content that you enjoy. Thank you for being part of the Battlefield community, and thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you on our Patreon. Now, let's get back to the show.
We're gonna be so fucking screwed because you listen to this podcast, you probably know what I'm gonna tell you. This game is not ready for that release. I don't know what they're smoking. Someone's at EA pushing this. Someone's somewhere pushing this release date. So two things will happen. So okay, open beta. Before I continue, open beta, 2 playlists. I told you guys for the last 2-3 episodes now. I told you. Didn't I say it? Battlefield Studios does listen. DICE listens. Battlefield Labs and the whole team and everything, they listen what players they have to say. When DICE or Battlefield Studios, whatever, released that blog post, part 2 of the class system, and they say open weapons is staying. It's a thing. But you have signature weapons that give you buffs and everything if you use a specific weapon for a specific class. Cool. I think that's a nice compromise for people that really want that old Battlefield experience, even though that weapons do not define a class. But whatever. I personally don't care. I don't care. I'm still gonna finish top of the scoreboard because I'm a good enough player to adapt to the situation and all that kind of stuff. I don't care, right? I really don't care. It's not a deal breaker for me. But it's a deal breaker for a lot of people for some reason. So, in this open beta, they'll run 2 playlists. A closed weapon playlist and the open weapon playlist. And the closed weapon playlist will basically have, all your signature weapons. Assault class for assault, locked for assault. Assault class weapons locked for assault. SMGs for engineer. LMGs for support. And snipers for recon, right? And on top of that, you have universal weapons like shotguns, carbines, DMRs available to each class. So basically, Battlefield 4 system. I'm not a fan of that because it doesn't achieve anything. Because, hey, if I want to run... Listen, carbine and assault are basically the same type of weapons. They are. I'm sorry, you can't change my mind. You cannot change my mind. They're basically the same identical weapons. They're just called differently. And they're like small differences. It's just, who cares? They're assault rifles. You still can run an assault rifle, basically, or carbine on a recon. Who cares? But that's great, because that means it doesn't make recon class useless. And all kind of stuff. So I kind of wish there was like a bit more. So you either lock it fully or you don't. And if you don't lock it fully, you don't achieve anything. So I rather than at this point have an open weapon system, which I don't care if it's closed or open. I don't care. But I did say they listen. I did say that they'll take all the feedback they can and see what they can do. And open beta running 2 playlists, open weapon and closed weapon playlist. Fantastic. Fantastic. Like, that's fine. That's like, test it out. We have Battlefield Labs. You have your open beta. Get the feedback. Get the data and everything. See what people prefer. I personally, when I'll play the open beta, I'll play the open weapon class. You know, because I rather do that than Battlefield 4. And if I really want my buffs, whatever, I'll just pick a specific class for that class, a specific weapon for that class, and get the buffs. For me, it doesn't matter. It's such a non-issue in my eyes, because that's not what defines a class. It's the equipment that defines the class. But hey, people want closed weapons, they want the Battlefield 4 system. Cool. Whatever. I'll play the open playlist, like the open weapon playlist. I'll play that because I prefer that over that. I don't know, just like, but I'm glad they're testing this so everyone else experience all this. Like, okay, gather data and so on. But of course, I can already predict that a lot of people. It doesn't matter what you're gonna play, because at the end of the day, DICE still can manipulate the data. They can say, well, 70% of people played open class weapon system, open weapon system and so on. 70-80% played that, so I guess we'll stick in with that. And of course, just because open beta happens and they'll show the data, or even whatever data they show, it doesn't mean they have to go with that. If you know what I mean. This is not a democracy, right? Just because more people played one specific playlist doesn't mean they have to change to that, the launch of the game to those people. I don't know, video game production is not a democracy. Love it or hate it, it's not. You're just a gamer with money. If you don't like the game, you don't buy the game. And they don't get the money, that's on them. At the end of the day, this is still business, At the end of the day, you buy entertainment, they develop the entertainment. If you don't like the entertainment, you don't buy the entertainment. Simple as that. And if they want to get the customer back, well, they do whatever they can to bring the customer back. They provide you a different type of entertainment, or whatever the case may be, right? It's business. At the end of the day, it's business. Yeah, but that being said, open beta dropping in 2 weeks. Game is not ready for this year's release, but they're pushing, it seems, and 10th of October is the leaked rumored date for the release. So what's the future? Like, someone's at EA definitely pushing this to be a thing because they think they have opportunity here. I don't think you do. That's the thing. I don't think you do. Like, whoever's at EA doing the crunching the numbers and everything to decide what's the best time to release this game. What's the other game that is coming out in October? Third person, some sort of extraction shooter. Arc Raiders. Here you go, Arc Raiders. I heard a lot of hype about Arc Raiders. Black Ops 6 Black Ops, the same game. Black Ops 7 is coming out later this year. I think the rumor was November, end of November, something like 20th of November. So 10th of October, that's really early, and a month away from COD. I mean, sure, but there's other games coming out now, and I think March is the best time to release the game. I don't think you can change my mind. March is the best time. No competition, quiet, peaceful, and everything. And I believe that was still the original date. But as soon as they heard the GTA is being released in May, Call of Duty is not doing that great, they think they have a chance. I think this is the Vince Zampella effect with Titanfall. The reason Titanfall 2 did not sell well whatsoever, is because it was smashed in between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Titanfall 2, amazing shooter. Amazing single player, amazing multiplayer. I like the characters, and I like the whole setting. I like the premise. I like the whole aesthetic of the game. Titanfall 2 is a masterpiece. I love that game so much. I think I have like over 300 hours on that game. It's amazing. Did not resonate with the public audience, with the mainstream audience, because it was sandwiched. Well, which game I play? Of course I play Battlefield 1, that is World War 1. Hey, of course I'll buy Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, because he has the Modern Warfare 4 remaster in it. You know, if anyone remember that. Of course I will buy one of those. What? Titanfall, a franchise I barely heard of, and like, whatever, right? So I have a feeling this is the Vince Zampella effect again. They think they have a great product, probably. The multiplayer section of the game is probably in a fantastic, like they look at the current build right now that it's not on labs and thinking, yeah, we have a really good game here, and we know it can be very successful with the audience, you know, with the mainstream audience. We should push it out as soon as possible, because Call of Duty is not doing great and the other games are not doing great and so on. But I think you can be too. I think you get too confident. Don't be too confident with this thing, because this game needs every piece of help you can get from everything. March is probably the best time to release the game, like middle of the March, because there's nothing happening. The only thing that's probably happening is the Call of Duty Warzone update, like a big one. That's the only thing that probably is happening, probably. And you can compete against that. You can. You really can. And releasing this in October, I think is just suicide. So two things will happen. If, I've been saying for the last year now, since when Battlefield was announced, I did say there's a big chance the game is not coming out later this year. There's a big chance. And I was as reading everything and learning everything and talking to people, all that kind of stuff, just what's happening with this game. And the stuff people told me, this game is not coming out later this year. And I was like, still with it, let's say. And then that Ars Technica article coming out and saying, yeah, like shit's fucked. There's no way this game is gonna come out later this year. There's no way. And me and Ray was like, of course, there's, yeah, all right. So I think it's like low-key confirmation that the game is not coming out later this year. But then you hear the leaks, like recent leaks. Then you hear the news. Then you see Battlefield tweeting and doing the reveal and everything. They're really pushing for that October release. I'm like, okay, what changed? So regarding the reveal tomorrow, it's gonna be a nice, cool trailer. It will be art, that's for sure. It'll be art as fuck, like cinema. It will be cinema, you know, cinema. I wonder what reveal date they're gonna show. I really wonder what the reveal date is. It gonna be October, or is it gonna be next year? If the reveal trailer tomorrow doesn't have a reveal date, their launch date is coming out next year. But if it does have like a reveal date, well, yeah, it's gonna be this year then. But if it doesn't, I think that's a safe assumption. Then, yeah, we were right. It's not coming out later this year. But if by stupid miracle it's actually coming out this year, this is what you can expect. Two things will happen. One of these two things will happen. It will be a broken game, broken launch. There will be no single player. It will be basically a disaster, absolute disaster. It will be broken. It will be crashes, netcode or whatever. Like, it's gonna be a horrible launch. It's gonna be another 2042 type of disaster. Or the game is in a good state. But again, there will be no single player. It'll be very bare bones. You will not have 52 weapons on launch day, as as that list of weapons got leaked. You will not have 52 weapons on launch day. You will have 25 at best. It will be a very bare bones, very limited progression, nothing to do. Cosmetics and everything also will be very limited, very bare bones. You'll have maybe 6-8 maps on launch. It'll be a good game. You know, the gameplay loop will be amazing. But everything outside the game will be very bare bones. Extremely bare bones. And people will not enjoy that. They're like, and then Season 1 of Battlefield 6 will probably drop. Well, if it's coming out October. See, it's not like I want to say November, end of November, start of November, when Season 1 will drop. Knowing EA and Battlefield Studios, just DICE and everything, how they work, Season 1 is not coming out until February. Knowing them. And everything we heard about all that kind of stuff, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So, like I said, well, two things will happen. Either a broken ass launch, reviews going down, Battlefield is dead, or a very stable launch, extremely stable, but nothing to do. Bare bones, nothing to do. You level up so quick, you'll reach your level 55 or whatever max rank they'll have in the game. There'll be some maybe challenges once in a while, but there's nothing. There will be nothing. It's gonna be so fucking bare bones. You will not care about anything because it's just like whatever. The Battle Royale is not coming this year. I think that's safe to assume that there's no way. So yeah, I do. Yeah, I am really worried about that. I'm really worried about that. But yeah, that's my prediction for the thing. Well, but anyway, we'll see what the review says. We'll see what the review will say with the everything and what the event's gonna be and all that kind of stuff. We'll see. I hope the game is not coming out this year, but if it does, God help us. And also that means we'll have to do weekly episodes. That's for sure, because there's loads of things to cover and everything. And yeah, so which is great for you guys because you're gonna listen to all that kind of stuff. You're gonna get more episodes, and of course more Patreon content, all that kind of stuff. Just like I mean, good for us, bigger audience, all that kind of stuff. That's great, but I don't want to make podcasts when I'm very angry at the game. I think me and Ray said last episode, we want to enjoy the game. We don't want to be bitching about the game 24/7 on each episode. That's the thing. We don't want to do that. We want to enjoy the game. But yeah. Well, that's everything I have to say about, the reveal stuff that is happening tomorrow, about the leaked open beta, all that kind of stuff. And if the game is coming out later this year, good luck, everyone. Good luck. Yeah. Anyway, so if you don't want to listen about Battlefield news, all that kind of stuff, because I'm done. I see you guys in the next episode. See you in 2-3 weeks. I'll see you on Patreon, one of those. But if you want to stay with me for a little bit, I want to talk about the website. I want to talk about the BattlefieldOne.net website that we've been working on for the last 2-3 months. And it's live, as you already know. As I said at the start of the episode, I said last episode, BattlefieldOne.net. I've been working on this baby for the last 4 months, and work is still being done in the background for other stuff because it's not done. It's still early work. It's still early stuff, but the website is running well. We have a homepage, explaining what we are, what we do. Then you can click on links and everything. You can meet the host. You can know more about me. You can know more about Ray. You can know more about Andre. Then you can know more about our guests, all that kind of stuff. And on the website, you can listen to all the episodes ad-free, by the way, all ad-free. So if you want to listen to our podcast, it's all ad-free on BattlefieldOne.net. We have our old episodes there from 2015, slowly being re-uploaded on the website because they're originally being re-uploaded on Patreon. So subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. And all the episodes are being re-uploaded there, but they're also being re-uploaded on website, BattlefieldOne.net. And of course, there we also have some bonus episodes that are free public patron episodes. So you also can listen to them there. So it's like 4 episodes right now, and it depends when we're going to do more public episodes, but all the public episodes will be published there. So it's a nice archive for all our old episodes. And on top of that, I don't want to just leave our episodes to be there for you to be listened. I also document each episode, what we talked about, the time codes for each episode, the YouTube links, the Spotify, Apple iTunes, whatever, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Audible, all that kind of stuff, right? That's being linked with documentation, and each documentation of each episode is basically explains what we talked on that episode, what the important quotes, what important quotes that were said on that episode, and of course the main thing, the highlights, what was discussed on that episode. So we have documentation for each Battlefield 1 podcast episode, including the old ones. Like, we even do the highlights for the old ones. So that's one of the main reasons why it took so long to do this website, because documenting everything was a bitch. And if AI wasn't here, it would take even longer. So I know people like, oh, he's using AI to do, like, yes, AI helped a lot to document each episode, what was discussed and what we talked about. But you have to remember, AI is not accurate. The thing about AI, ChatGPT or some any other AI out there, it's very, very confident in being wrong. And that's the thing I knew, and I learned, it still learned again. Like, hey, yes, it does a pretty good job of analyzing your podcast episodes and putting it on a text, in a bullet point format, explaining what was discussed. It does a really good job. But thank fuck I remember what was discussed, or sometimes I have to re-listen to the podcast and everything just to confirm. Because AI can be wrong. Sometimes it made some stuff that I did not understand. Where the hell you got that from? Like, where did you get that information from? I don't understand. And I just realized I was not holding my mic properly because I'm on the bloody sofa just chilling. AI was very confident of what he has to say. And I'm like, that's not what we're talking about. That's I don't know where he got this information from. So he probably got it from somewhere, for sure. But I don't know where from. That's not what was discussed on the episode. So I have to fix it and everything. And documenting the whole, episodes was a bitch. And the reason why I want to document the episodes is because when I, talk about something, about Battlefield or whatever the case may be, right? I want to go on my website and find out what was said on that podcast, because I want to know how wrong or right we were during that time, right? Like, realistically, I should not do any documentation for the episodes for people to read, because that basically puts us, what's the word? On the spotlight. Like, but that's good. But that's fantastic. That gives us accountability on what we have to say and what we're saying and how we say it, all that kind of stuff. It puts accountability on us on making this show much better, because that means, yeah, we talked about this, but let's correct ourselves because we said this, but in reality it's that. That's the thing. This website of us documenting each episode is fucking fantastic, because also we can bring some old topics back and talk about it, because some of the topics we talked about before still relevant to this day with this bloody franchise. So that's the thing. You have to be a bit more, you have to put accountability on yourself, and this website helps, and I'm happy to support this. There's a reason why I decided to go that way. I want to put accountability on us, and I just want for the new people, or anyone, just go on the website and just find what we talked about and just read what we talked about, whatever the case may be, right? It's one of those things. Like, I want to put something there. It's us, it's a piece of history, And I'm glad we can do that on this website. On top of that, because we have all this documentation happening for all the episodes we talked about, right? Now we have like a news section there too. And what's the point of the news section is for people that don't want to listen to the whole episode, or don't want to listen to a specific, like, through old episodes about something. I get that. Not everyone wants to listen to podcasts, and I get that everyone has the time to listen to everything. So we have a news section where we write articles about the stuff we talk about, the stuff that was mentioned, the news that happened in Battlefield franchise. That's the point. It's basically, I want to make a hub for people to go to be the number one destination, anything Battlefield. So, and it's not just like copy-paste news from other sites and everything. Like, oh, reveal is happening tomorrow. Let me copy-paste this information on the website. No. When you click on an article on BattlefieldOne.net to read about specific news about something Battlefield related, you will get not only the news, you will get our opinion or anything that we discussed on top of that about that topic. Yeah, you read, oh, there's a new gauntlet mode coming to Battlefield Battle Royale. Cool. I don't know what that means. So that's why we add our opinions and context into the article from what we discussed about this gauntlet mode, so you can get an understanding what the fuck we're talking about, right? Just because I tell you what's coming doesn't mean you know what's coming. So we try to explain the article, and that's the point. The way I decided to go this with BattlefieldOne.net is fantastic. I think it's fantastic because also some of the articles I do have to use AI sometimes, because just to put everything in somewhat starting context. But at the end of the day, I still have to write those articles myself because, like I said, AI is very, very confident of being wrong. So sometimes I use it like a starting point, right? And after that, I'll go from there and write it and fix the mistakes where it has to be. But regardless, all this information that you're gonna see on BattlefieldOne.net in the news section is basically all based on what we said and what we discussed and all the official news. It's not just copy-paste news. You're getting context, you're getting the details, you're getting all that kind of stuff that is important for you to understand what is going on with this piece of information that you're reading about. And I'm really happy that we decided to go that way, because it makes the things more unique, more interesting, and more educational in general. Because the thing of what I don't like, no matter what I think about the Battlefield games and everything, all that kind of stuff, but what I hate most about is the misinformation. We live in the age of misinformation. So people say like, oh, Battlefield 4 is the best best weapon lock, just like the Battlefield 4 class system, how the weapons are locked for each class and so on. That's the best thing. Yeah, but you have universal weapons that can be equipped to each class. It kind of defeats the purpose of it, right? So that's what I mean, that it doesn't define the classes and everything. And people, stuff like that, they're saying like on Reddit and the area is like, oh, this is the best. I'm like, is it? Did you understand? Okay, can you even explain to me why you like it? Well, I just like it. So you don't have a reason. We try to give you a reason. So we try to give you educational reason how you I'm not telling you how you should think about something, but I'm telling you that we're trying to explain to you why developers went with that particular route for their game, right? Or why we think it's not the best or the good way to do it. Like, whatever the case may be, whatever the topic is, you get in context. So just on that, BattlefieldOne.net is a fantastic place for any Battlefield fan. It just is. Like, what we're making for this website and the things we're gonna make in the future. Because, for example, there was some comment from someone saying, "Oh, you should stream the episodes on the website, and the Patreon users, can join and watch the live stream live before it gets posted to the public places like Spotify, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, right?" And that's not a bad idea. And already working on that, like, yeah, that's a good idea. So any Patreon user, whoever, will be able to log in to the website, or whatever the case may be, and watch the live recording of our show. before it gets posted to the public episodes, with the fancy editing, all that kind of stuff. You're getting the raw experience. And that's a good idea. And that's being worked on in the background. Then, of course, the news section, don't get me wrong. Writing news and writing articles, that takes time. That takes a lot of time to make sure that all your information is correct, all the details are correct, everything you're writing about is not fake news. You need to make sure that everything is on point and correct. So that takes time, But, like I said, it does put accountability on us, and it makes the whole listening experience much better because, hey, you listen to the podcast, you go on the website, you read about something, or you don't listen to the podcast, but you read the article. You're still gonna get that information what we talked about, right? You're still gonna get that content. One is written, one is audio. Same thing, right? Same thing. As long as the information is consistent and you get that particular information that needs to be discussed. So I love our website. BattlefieldOne.net website is fantastic. I'm so glad how it came out. I'm so glad how it looks. I'm so glad how it works and functions and everything. Optimizing for mobile, my god, that was fucking big. I hate that mobile devices exist because making websites for mobile is absolute chore. Such a nonsense. So optimizing the website for mobile was such a chore. I want to kill myself. But it's done. It's done and all that kind of stuff. Great. So yeah, BattlefieldOne.net. Please check out. And if you do support us, you do enjoy what we had to do, what we're doing with, with the podcast and the website, all that kind of stuff. Please subscribe to Patreon. Please donate. Actually, we have a dedicated donation page now. BattlefieldOne.net/donate. What was that? Support Patreon, like BattlefieldOne.net/Patreon. That easy. That no drama, no nothing. Fantastic. Keep it simple. I love our website. Our website, I'm so glad we did that because it's just one of the best ideas we ever did. And it will be fantastic for the game launch too. So I noticed our viewership and audio listeners and everything jumped. I don't know if it's because of the recent Battlefield news happening, or whatever the case may be, because people are like, oh, what people think about Battlefield? Battlefield 1 podcast? Yeah, let me check Battlefield 1 podcast. Or the website they're actually promoting, because I made a Facebook page for Battlefield 1, so it's basically posting articles and everything. Of course, our Twitter page is posting articles, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of work in the background, but we're doing good. I'm really proud of the progress that is being done. We're building a nice foundation. Actually, no, foundation is built. That's the thing. We're now building the building itself. The foundation is there to make this really cool, and it is cool. I think it's one of the best things we ever did so far. Literally, making Battlefield related trailers was fantastic, but making this website is probably one of my favorite achievements so far. It's definitely up there in my top 5 achievements when it comes to Battlefield. Just if not top 3, of top 2, just making this is fantastic, and I'm glad people enjoyed the articles and everything. I actually posted one of the articles from our last episode where we talked about Battlefield 6 naming, why Battlefield 6 is named Battlefield 6. And I posted that article saying hey, I don't think EA shows any confidence in this game. And I shit you not, as soon as we posted that article on Reddit, on the Battlefield subreddit, I shit you not, 30 seconds in, there's already 5 comments. Oh fuck yeah, why you being all doom and gloom, all that kind of shit? People just bitching. Oh, this is a shit article, all that kind of stuff. Then of course someone said, oh, I'm not gonna read it. Just because it was an article, people checked on it, and that probably brought some new audiences. Are okay, yeah. Listen, I can tell Battlefield subreddit sometimes are just absolute morons, absolute idiots sometimes. Well, I'm not gonna read it. Oh, it's doom and gloom and so on and blah blah blah. It's funny how they all the time chill on the Battlefield story, but they have no idea what's going on around them. They have no idea about the news or everything. They're just sheep. I don't know what to call it. It's just the mob mentality. It's oh, so fucking shit. Why are you being so gloom? Well, if you read a fucking article, you would understand that we're not being absolute doom and gloom, but at the same time, like, how's that different? Yeah, it's just so dumb. But it's kind of funny though, just because I want to see what's the reaction gonna be from Reddit. Like, that's the thing. I really want to see what's gonna be the reaction, because sometimes it's just like, that's what I hear sometimes, and I'm like, wow. And these are the people that think they know what Battlefield is. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. So if you ever read a BattlefieldOne.net article from us and all that kind of stuff, please share it everywhere. Like, please share it on Twitter. Please share it on Reddit. You know, share it everywhere. You know, I don't care if it's negative or positive feedback or whatever the case may be, right? Just anything, right? It's like, it helps out. It's like, hey, if you read the article in 5 minutes and you come out with somewhat, you don't feel like your time was wasted, it's a win in my eyes. We won. We did not waste your time. We probably educate, maybe whatever, or enlighten you in some shape or form. Fantastic. That's all it is. That's all. I ask not anymore. So if you're reading any of our articles, please check out. Like, please read them. Please share. You know, share them and everything, please, because it does help out. Like, share them everywhere. Like, whatever the case may be. So yeah. Long story short, I'm really enjoying the website. I'm glad what the website is right now. I'm glad about the background stuff that is happening with the website. It's game changer for us. It's such a game changer. Literally game changer. And I'm glad what the podcast is. And I'm looking forward, like, hopefully that you're not going to leave us and you're going to enjoy what we have to say about Battlefield franchise. And we're going to get more people and everything. And we're doing great. Like, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for caring what we have to say about this godforsaken franchise. You know, thank you so much. Like, all the patrons and everything, all the donations. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, yeah. Oh my god, someone's car is literally beeping in the background. But I was ending anyway. So, anyway. Let's end this episode on a good note. Battlefield 6 reveal happening tomorrow. Whatever happens, happens. There will be no public episodes in the next 2-3 weeks, because I'm going to be on holiday, and I will try to enjoy it. I don't think it's going to be that enjoyable, because for visiting in-laws and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's better to be there than at work, for example. We'll see if the open beta drops at the start of August, early August. I'll try to play it on my PS5. Finally see how the game feels and everything, so that's gonna be interesting. And check out the website, all that kind of stuff, BattlefieldOne.net. And if you want to support us directly, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. And yeah, that's kind of it. So, oh, okay, just to end the show, like, oh shit. I want Battlefield to be amazing, and I'm really looking forward to the Battle Royale section of the game, right? So for video, if you're watching this on video, you'll see what I have to show. But you on audio, listening to the audio, I will try to explain to you what I'm showing to you. So I'm really looking to the Battlefield Battle Royale. This thing I'm holding is nothing to do with Battlefield. It has to do with Call of Duty, funny enough. I'm really looking for the Battle Royale section of the game. I hope the Battlefield in general, Battlefield 6 is gonna be really good. But I hope it's gonna be a really good game. I hope. And I hope we're gonna have stats and everything to see how we performed and everything. And I don't even want to show this. I don't even know why I'm telling this. But anyway, what I have here, I don't know if you can see it on the video, is basically the map of Urzikstan from Call of Duty Warzone. It is basically a whole map of it, right? But what it has on it, I don't know if you can see it on the video, because everything reflects and all that kind of stuff. It's basically all my wins I had on that map. It's kind of stupid, I agree. It's very nerdy. It's like, oh, where were you? Well, your Warzone wins on, and you printed it out and put in a frame. You know, all your wins and everything. And I have I had like 45 wins on this map alone, and it's nothing special. I'm not the best player in the world, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm not the best player in the world or that kind of stuff, but that's what Call of Duty Warzone is, in a sense. Call of Duty Warzone is a good game, all that kind of stuff. And I have this for Verdansk too, but because we're still on Verdansk, I haven't played it out because Urzikstan is gone, so there was kind of appropriate time to, you know, alright, let me put this in a frame, all my history of this map, right, on Call of Duty Warzone, on Urzikstan, all that kind of stuff, right? And when Verdansk is gonna be done, or whatever the case may be, we're gonna move to a new map or whatever, I'll print Verdansk too. But yeah, it's cool, you know. And I just hope Battlefield can bring me that emotion in me that, hey, I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy, you know, the gameplay loop of Battlefield and Battlefield Battle Royale, whatever the case may be. And I hope it gives me the same emotion that I feel in Call of Duty Warzone, like the sense of competition in a sense. Whatever, like people misinterpret what I have to say about competition, all that kind of stuff. But like, hey, it's nice to play against real life players and, you know, be the last player on the field when you win the game, all that kind of stuff, right? It kind of reminds me like, hey, I am not absolute idiot in video games. I'm still somewhat good enough to win, you know, in a squad or by my own, whatever the case may be, right? And get better and so on. I'm 30-plus-year-old, you know, person, you know, I'm not gonna be esports ready ever. But it's basically, I want to bring myself like a reminder that like, hey, I still can have fun. I still can have, you know, entertainment from these video games, all that kind of stuff. And I hope Battlefield is that, like, you know, and I still want to play video games and still be somewhat decent as I get older. I don't want to be absolute like, oh, I'm 40, I'm shit at video games. What a stupid excuse. No, that's a stupid excuse. Like, listen, I'm not 35 yet. But I will be soon, in like 2-3 years. It's like just a reminder. Just keep trying, keep your best, and as long as the game is fun and everything, that's what matters. And I hope I can do this for Battlefield Battle Royale. I can print out all my wins on the map, all that kind of stuff, or whatever the case may be, something like that, right? It's like on which part of the map I won, which win was it, how many times I won it, all that kind of like. It's dumb, it's nerdy, but I like it. I like the sense of memorabilia, right? I like that. So I hope the next Battlefield game is basically that I can get some memorabilia from that. One can only hope, but we will see. But anyway, that's like, if you care about this, cool. If you don't, it's just like, yeah. It's and I don't know if I explained to the audio listeners what the fuck is it. It's basically a frame of all the wins I had on Call of Duty Warzone. So anyway, I'm gonna end the podcast here, and the show here, the episode. So thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys that not subscribe to Patreon in 2-3 weeks. We'll talk about it, and if you wanna hear what we have to say about the reveal, all that kind of stuff early, subscribe to Patreon and patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Or check out BattlefieldOne.net for all the information about us, news and everything and so on. And that's gonna it. So thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope I'll have a good holiday. And if you're playing the open beta, if it's coming at the end of the, you know, start early of August, enjoy the beta. Let's have fun. I'll see you guys on the battlefield, I guess. See you on the front lines.